Good morning, everybody. My name is Bobby Richardson, and these are my Ascension messages. Today we are going to channel. I just wanted to say, first of all, not really sorry about yesterday. I just wasn't in the right space of mind, and I've got to acknowledge that and trust that. Otherwise, I can't give you guys clear messages. So today I feel really good, very clear, and actually that's another thing that has been brought up recently within my own reality, and I'm pretty sure if it's in my reality, it's mainly in a lot of other people's reality as well. And that's what I titled this, Why the Highs and Lows. So we're going to get into channel messages about that. But they have given me a couple of points as to why it's happening. So, yeah, we'll get into that in a sec. Bit of housekeeping. I have a class coming up on Monday, and it's all about the mysterious world of the elementals and everything that they can offer, how we can bring them in, why the fairy tales are as they are, and there's so many juicy messages coming through with that. Yeah, aligning ourselves with them is a really valuable thing when we move into these new frequencies, because even though we're bringing in, the ability to build our own homes and everything like that from the logical point of view, to connect to the plant life and everything, it is a great adventure to go the realm of the elementals as well. So anyway, that's part of my class, and love to be able to share with you all the wisdom that I have on them. As well as I do intuitive counseling and readings. So if you're interested in that, the link is down below. Codes to a New Reality. On, I think it was Wednesday, I did a interview with Kevin Moore, so that'll be coming up in the next month or so. He usually takes about that long to publish. It could be next week, could be next month, but really excited about that one. That was full on. And what else is there? Hey, Julie, I should get my glasses on so I can read the chat bar, right? Hey, Julie. Hey, Cherie. Good to see you guys, my great little team. Yeah, what else is there? I haven't been doing so many inspirational messages, video messages, because I've been focusing in on the classes and these messages, and I wanted to take a small break from that. But I'm pretty sure that's going to rev up again, because I get really passionate and excited about creating those beautiful messages. So if you want to go on my actual page, you just go down a bit, and there's a whole heap of very short inspirational messages, very beautiful, all channeled messages, and artwork to go with them, and so forth. And thank you for the lovely comments about my artwork that I published on my community panel. Very cool. So let's get into this, the message for this week. And actually, it's going to be it's obviously an ongoing message, as most of my messages are. So whenever you come across this video, that could be the right time for you to actually hear this, and so forth. But I'm going to get into what they were discussing with me. First up, at the moment, because we're coming closer and closer to the core essence of ourselves as just love, there is immense value in understanding where the mind and its overpoweringness can take you, and where the journey of the intuitive side can take you. And so we are flipping back and forth so that we can feel into both sides, highs and lows. They said it's kind of like, they showed me a person on a boat, and the logical mind would be the person that takes the engine and starts to direct, even though there's fog everywhere and they can't exactly see where they're going. But they're like, I have been here before, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to go this way. So I'm going to grab my engine and I'm going to, direct my boat in a certain path. And that's the logical mind going, that's, creating from the past, grabbing a past event, even though they can't see where they're going now, because it's literally very foggy in our reality at the moment of what we can actually achieve. And trying to direct ourselves by grabbing the engine and pulling us and pushing us in a certain way that we did last time, reacting in a certain way to if somebody said something or something was done, react in the same way as what you did in the past, and then trying to fix it all up and control your outside reality. And then the other side of it was they were showing me like a flow, an undercurrent that was definitely taking us back to land, back home, back to everything. But we're literally, when we get in our minds again, we're going, but that's not the way I went last time, and I don't trust that undercurrent. I don't trust the flow, the natural flow or order of life. And how do we get into that anyway? Well, we get into that by completely letting go of controlling. And we're trusting. We're just saying, I love who I am, and I'm moving in my life through the love of myself, and I'm trusting the flow. But because these intense energies are coming at us, we are flipping from grabbing the engine just in case, I'll direct myself this way, and then we turn around and go in circles. We come back to the same place again that we did in the past. I don't like this. I don't want to be here. And they're asking us to, although these things can be very in our face and very hard to handle, they want us to let it go as soon as we possibly can. And the more you do that, the more you're coming closer and closer to allowing the undercurrent or the flow of energy that's present at the moment to carry you, or your soul to carry you into returning home. When you start to realize the relaxed you, the not controlling you, the you that is feeling a release of, I don't need to have all these burdens on my shoulder anymore to carry the load of trying to help this person, that person, all that. I am just going to be present with myself in this moment. And even though excuse my language, crap happened yesterday, I'm still going to be present in today. I'm going to be present in today, and to wake up and keep on saying, I've got to be present in today. And you'll find that in reflection, the people that were opposing you the day before will all of a sudden feel that release of themselves, and they will want to help. They will want to release as well. And when they do, you end up combining together through love of self, journeying through that undercurrent that's taking you back home. So the highs and lows are also to do with we're coming closer and closer and closer to being able to manifest in real time, or manifest very quickly. That is the power of us, because the universe is always in reflection to us. And so it's like the closer we get to the core essence of loving who we are, or source, or God, or whatever you want to call it, prime creator, closer we get to that, the closer we are to being able to create in real time exactly as we feel in the moment of the self-supportedness of ourselves, and feeling into the grandness of being source energy going on a journey. And so our minds, when it does take over a little bit, is reflected very quickly. Where if we did this, like, say 100 years ago, or even, a few hundred years ago, or even 50 years ago, even 20 years ago, they're saying, there was a longer wait, and you could kind of have the thought, oh my God, that's going to happen, and there was enough time for you to either catch the thought or move towards that's going to be created. Whether it be negative or positive makes no difference. It's you and your focus that's taking you there. So now that we're coming closer and closer to the love of self, it's like getting quicker and quicker. So we have we have to then know that we have to control or take responsibility of our thoughts as well as our actions. Our thoughts are needing to be taken responsibility of, and we have to also move into how we feel about ourselves, and constantly check in with that. But when they're telling me, when you do go through a moment where you've got caught in the vortex of the mind, creating and trying to create, sometimes we just have to be present with that. Even sometimes when we just go, okay, well, this is one of those moments where I have to purge, I have to bring up all of the emotions that come with me going the wrong way again. I have to look at that. I have to face it off and see it so that I can release it. So yeah, it's not for the weak-minded to move into love and light. It's not for the weak-minded at all. We are all going through this massive transition, and we should be very kind to ourselves, very gentle on ourselves as we go through this, because it's extraordinary too. There is great benefits on the other side of this, because your days get longer and longer with feeling blissful and feeling like you are riding the wave of love through this life. And that sounds really like, riding the wave of love. But to get there was to face off with a heck of a lot of shadow self, a whole heap of programming, and feeling like you're responsible to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. And that's one of the big programs they pulled over us, is that we're responsible for everybody else's reality, and you can only ever be responsible for your own reality. It's so important to move into, I'm responsible for me and my reality, and I love who I am. And I think they call it like, I have heard that they're bringing up Abraham Hicks now, which I haven't seen any of her videos for a very long time. We're talking years and years and years, but something to do with the vortex. So that is another word for it. There's many of us that understand this, and yet we're still going through it ourselves. And some of us have decided we understand it. We've been there. We've actually seen the other side. We've felt into the bliss. But then we get caught. We wanted to go back into the issues and all the hoo-ha to go with others, so that we can get a better real-time understanding to share. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm getting a real-time understanding to help you guys guide through this. But even so, in those moments, I've lost myself as well, right? So, yeah, it is a matter of facing what you're trying to control outside of you, instead of looking inwards and feeling with that lack of, that you had to feel you had to control something outside of yourself. If you are in the essence of love of who you are, walking this path, then we have to let the give and take of flow of people coming and going in our life. We don't hold on to anyone. As soon as we start to hold on, the closer we hold on, the more it ends up becoming awkward. Love is freedom. Love is allowing people to be free on their journey. But true essence or core of soul love will always bring people together, because they have a piece of the puzzle that fits. Rebecca, I have moments of bliss and hoping they will increase. Yeah, they do. The more the shadow work you look at within yourself, the more that does increase, and it will go in and out. Just don't be too hard on yourself. Let it happen. I used to just go, oh, that's a beautiful moment. It used to be like moments of just a washover of like 10 seconds. And I'm like, and that's like slippery soap, you don't want to hold on to it, because as soon as you try to hold on to being present in the moment, that's that controlling feeling or controlling nature of the mind again, trying to control it. it's like it slips out of you, and so you're like, oh, it's gone. But now I'm just present, and it can last for days with me now, not just moments. And then I am in tune with everything around me, but I also have to be aware of not being too in my intuitive side or imaginative side, that I'm not present and grounded on this plane. So there's this balance. It's like we're on a seesaw of recognizing the value of the logical mind, which is grounding us in this reality. In other words, we're not making mistakes, like silly little mistakes of going the wrong way when we know we've gone that right way before, because you're off in your imaginative thought and not grounded in this reality. So there's this balance that we're slowly coming to. This is going to literally naturally happen to us because of these energies that are bringing us, enlightening us towards source energy or a core essence of love of self. This is going to naturally happen to us, but the guidance that I can give you is to not be too hard on yourself and allow it to be present as it does happen. As soon as you can catch yourself that you're in the head too much. They're bringing me to a scenario, this is a few years ago, where I was camping, and this is when drones just started to come out, like everyone was with their drone toy. And I didn't realize what it was, but this person had a drone up in the sky close to my camp. And I'm like, oh my God, conspiracy theory, right? I was so in my head. Oh my God, there's someone spying on me. I was so in my head. And I got this huge message: get out of your head. And I couldn't. I just kept that story rolling. Like, I was like, I can't let this go. There's someone, with their little machine up there, because I didn't know it was a drone, spying on me, And the next minute, it was very calm this day, but the next minute, this massive wind took a great big tent pole and just whacked me on my forehead, knocked me flat. And I'm like, oh my God, my guides are literally shaking me up. Get out of your head. Like, get out of your head. And then I walked over to where the drone was, and noticed that someone was just playing, on a thing. And I'm like, holy crap, that's such a huge lesson to get out of our heads as we go through this. So sometimes our heads will just drag every essence of crap up for us to look at. But it is a massive clearing. It is a massive clearing when we go, I'm going to breathe into just being present. I'm going to breathe into letting this go. I'm going to trust that if I let this go, it will be let go of. And in my reflection, it disappears. Yeah. So really cool. Here, I've wiggled my nose. Oh, we're talking about Bewitched. I love that. Okay. Yeah, I used to do that too, right? Just like when I walked out of Star Wars and I was 13 and I saw it for real in the movies, and I walked out and went, oh my God, the Force is still within me. I really felt that, and it is. And now I realize through all the journey that I've been taken on, meeting the Cherokee Elder, talking telepathy with her, and then going and been shown the blissful new earths that we can align ourselves with, how to do it and move through the shadow work and all that sort of stuff. We do have the Force within us, because when we're connected to our soul, that literally is this force that can create. You know how they say you can move mountains? We literally could move mountains. We are creators. Humans are fantastical creators. It's just that our creative ability has been taken control of, because we allowed it to. We didn't trust that creative ability. And that's due to the fall back in Babylon, when we were meddling, creating outside of ourselves. and it was meddling with everything. And so we felt that guilt, and with the guilt comes somebody else comes in and takes control, because guilt will always lead to victimization, and then there's opportunity for someone to say, I will control you because you don't trust yourself anymore through that guilt. So this is where humanity's consciousness is going, is releasing all the guilt from eons. And we're talking even, ancestral patterns and all of that that's gone through. So many of us, especially the light workers, might find that we're actually releasing a huge amount of karma built up by ancestors as well. And so we're not just dealing with our own stuff. We're also that powerful and that strong that we can deal with our ancestors' stuff as well. And when we clear it, they clear it, because they see how we cleared it and they clear it. So that's how that works, especially if they are in another life. Their energy shifts. They're now taking me to, when I was with the Cherokee elder, one of the things that we did was to take a piece of strand of hair that had DNA on it, and then we put it in the river. Oh, I just got all this hair all of a sudden. We put it in the river, and she said that when you do when you enlighten yourself, then, or when you put an intention into that ceremony, then that intention will shift the waters, and anyone that drinks it, that sort of thing. Also, I'm feeling that the more that you shift who you are, it's like everything is connected through energy, but material carries the energy. I'm just trying to get what they're trying to say here. And so we can, through our intention and recognizing that our DNA is everywhere, we can shift many more can come with us as we do the work. And so we are not controlling outside of us, we are just shifting us. That's all we have to focus in on, is keep it coming back to us and shifting us. And trust that everyone else has their own ability to shift themselves as well. When we don't trust somebody, we're judging them. When we don't trust them, we're saying that we know something, that they don't know how to handle their own reality. They don't know how to handle their own path, but they're source energy going on a journey just like you. So why can't they handle their own path? Of course they can. If they go, it is within their intention, and they could choose a different way of doing it. It could be a very logical way of doing it. It could even be that they go into a religious sector or something and then find the limitations of that and burst out, or move through that and shift the religion while they're moving into that religion. They shift it, and then others shift. And there's so many ways of moving through these energies. It's not just one way. And that is the limited brain that's wanting to control again on how things should happen. And that's why we have these people in charge of us that are trying to say, I know better for everybody else, and so you have to listen to me because you voted, and yet you had no tick on the vote box to say that you don't agree with any of them. There should be like a little box right there, I reckon, that says, I don't agree with the ones that are up there, so I'm saying none of them, and let's reevaluate how we elect or whatever. But there isn't any, so it's a very limited and very graspy kind of a way to find leaders, because those that are more pushy are the ones that, and then that's because it's a reflection. They're telling me a reflection of the victimization of humanity's consciousness, though. So the more that we start to become alive or become aware of our power and understand who we are fully, then the more that those that are reflecting that lack of power fall away to look at their own stuff. So I have said this before, but they are bringing it up again. And some things are repeated because it's necessary to repeat some things because that's what the logical mind does as well. It likes that repetition to have a better understanding. Sometimes the first time you might just hear it and go, I feel that there's an ounce of truth there. The second time you might actually feel into it and get some wisdom from it. And the third time you might really feel, you like at the core of yourself feel it. But it's not that what I say is trying to control, or what my guides are saying are trying to control you. They just want you to feel into a vibrational meet that is resonant with you, and you take what you want out of what has been said, even if it's no matter who's channeling what or who's saying what. You take out of it, you choose the pieces that you want that's relevant for you and carving the path that you desire. And that then becomes a vast opening of creation as humanity's consciousness moves through into these new vibrations. Yeah, so that's really cool. Now, what else have we got? Yeah, I'm glad you get a lot out of what I say, Rebecca. And so I think it was you that said about the adverts. I have no control over what adverts they put up there. I have made it monetized because this is my time, and I get like, I don't know, I think you get about 50 cents maybe out of each, not even each video that you do. It's not much. So, well, not for me anyway at the moment. But I just want to be able to support my bottom of my bucket as well through what I do, and the adverts help. So, any case, that aside, let's get back into the channeling messages as well. Let that one go. See what else is coming up for the energies going on at the moment. They're saying a lot more is going to be uncovered, though. A lot more is they keep bringing that up. They've brought that up before too. A lot more is going to be uncovered. Moving through these new vibrations, because we are meeting our expansion of who we are. No more with the limiting thoughts that can easily be controlled. And so with that meeting of our own expansion or awareness, that we can connect back into source energy, tap into the Akashic records, which is all wisdom, and knowing. When we do that, we are expanding our reality. They're bringing me to savant autistics, and savant autistics they are tapped into their right hemisphere, into their intuition. They're just not grounded in this reality. And so they're the opposite of what the majority of humanity is. So the majority of humanity, if you rig them up to a little science machine, they would show the right brain is like, I don't know, I'm just guessing a percentage here, but a higher percentage activated, and the right hemisphere is less. That's the imbalance. And savants are like our reflection of that. They have flipped it where they've got a higher intuitive right feminine hemisphere activated, and so they're tapping into the all-knowing, the Akashic records. They just understand things from that level of consciousness, but they can't like look at you in the eye, and they can't be present in this reality. It's almost too much for them. And the way to ground them is to bring things in one at a time, just one at a time, not too much all at once. Slowly introduce this grounded reality to them. But on the other side, with the majority of us, we're clearing the program or the limited consciousness. We're clearing the left brain enough to be able to feel into the intuitive side and the connection to our soul. So they are literally showing us a potential, Savoir autistics, of humanity's consciousness or awareness of reality. And when you get that in balance, you are then grounding utopia on earth. You're grounding heaven on earth, and that balance, just through love of meeting logic, loving intuitive, the intuitive side loving logic, masculine loving feminine side. And even though they don't understand or know everything about them, they can see value and love that acceptance of each sides of ourselves. And then that'll be reflected in the relationships that we hold as well, because we're coming into relationships fully balanced. And so those that, when we're fully balanced, those that we meet will be in line and be more imbalanced as well, or the ones that we are with will start to find balance with themselves as well. And then we are not leaning on each other for lack of that we feel within ourselves. We are inspiring each other and supporting each other through the love of ourselves. And that's a different game then. So they're telling me that also, just as Babylon fell, so too will what is out of balance in our outer world. Those that are still trying to hold on tooth and nail to controlling others will fall. They will find their demise in the fact that these energies are shoving them into a place where they're reflected with their own issues big time. They cannot hide from this. It is relevant. It is prevalent everywhere. The energies are prevalent everywhere, and it's only because we're getting closer and closer to love that anything that isn't matching that vibration of love of self has to be in our face and showing and falling away. So take a deep breath, guys, and keep moving forward and trusting where this is going, and just keep on bringing it back to, it's okay, I understand. I went through a massive lesson last night, an hour ago, and now I am ready to see the value of myself through that, step forward and take back that, no matter what that looks like to others, take it back for yourself only, and everyone else will reflect whoever's meant to be in your life will always be in your life. Whoever's not meant to be in your life would have only been reflecting the crap anyway, so they will fall away. The love will still exist, even outside of you. It will come in more. It will come in more, and you'll see it more. So keep trusting. Also, they're saying, bringing up that if, say, for instance, a helping hint here. Say, for instance, you had something that you wanted to bring up to try to control something in your family dynamics. And you wanted to tell somebody something, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should. They're telling me a good hint here is to let go of the maybe, I should and shouldn't. Just say to yourself, I'm going to love who I am, and I'm going to trust that if the words come out of my mouth, they will be coming out through the love of myself, and nothing else matters anyway. So if I don't say anything that I'm just feeling in the love of myself, and I say nothing, then I say nothing. If I feel enlightened with myself, and next to that person, and all of a sudden all this stuff starts to come out, then let it happen, let it roll, and see where the cards may fall. there's no wrong and right whether you say something or don't. It's just the energy that it comes from is the most important thing here. And so if we go into our logical mind of I'm going to tell that person that, I'm going to make sure that they know that person, and then you've got the story going on, I'm going to make sure and I'm going to control it. You're in a lack of, because you're trying to control something. You're not in I love who I am and I don't need to control anything because I feel good about who I am. And I'm letting everyone else have their own say in their own way. But if I speak something, it's spoken from that point, that love of self. Yeah. Morning, Joe. I just subscribed to Joe's YouTube. She's got these little snippets with her horse. It's so cute. Okay, you should do more of those, Joe. Longer ones, I think, because there's energy there. That's beautiful. Any case, what else have I got here to share? Is there any more channel messages to come forth? You know what? I think that's it for today. I'll do tarot reading again on Tuesday, and I'm just feeling into something that they're saying, something to do with being gentle. They're actually saying when you're in line with the gentleness of yourself, you're actually in line with Pleiadian energy. That's interesting. Also, during Kevin Moore's interview, I saw something fly by me, and there's nothing in this room. I've never seen anything in this room reflect or anything like that. So I asked him to look out for that. Whether he does or doesn't, I don't know, because sometimes he crops things out. So we might not have it in the interview, but we might. Because I've got videos of white wispy things coming out of my hand. The reason why they're bringing that up, because they want to start to show themselves, be more present and grounded in this reality. But it has to be a meet, just like the meet of the two hemispheres of our brain, and how we're moving through this love of feminine and masculine. So too is that we have to meet them in a higher level for them to be present in our reality as well. So yeah, hopefully that he doesn't chop that bit out. There was something else that happened to me last time that I wouldn't mind bringing up too when I was channeling. I'm not sure if it was I think it was the last reading I did with the tarot, but I was channeling, I know that much. And then when I stopped and I closed everything, I literally could feel this woo, woo, woo through this air, like woo, woo happening. And I was like, whoa, it's almost like I have to come back grounded into this reality. And it was like a woo, woo. And they're bringing that up. There was a transmission that happened on the TV, I think it was in 1970 or something, where extraterrestrials were making contact through the TV, and it shut a program down. What kind of, went over top of a program with their energy, and it actually came in as this, like this sound that was. It was getting faster and faster as they were moving away into their higher vibration, and when they're coming into ours, it was getting slower. And they were talking about that's got something to do with me raising my level and to be able to connect with them, and then coming back to here, because even though because here as in real time with everyone at the moment is still in a denser reality until everybody does accept and love themselves fully for who they are and the adventure that they're going on. So I still have to raise my, or I just clear everything. Actually, I just clear my thoughts and just trust what's coming in, and then I trust them to give me information. So I'm just letting you guys know this so that you have because I know that in the end everyone's going to be telepathic and channeling. They're going to have those abilities. They're one of the first abilities that's going to come up. Anyways, great to see you guys. And till next time, don't forget, I have a class all on the mysterious world of the elementals this Monday. I love the elementals. I'm really close to them. So meet me there. It's only $20 if you're interested in the link. Okay, or being present in the actual class with me. So love you. Bye.